Okay, welcome everybody to a Stream with Purpose podcast. I am your host, Jeff Russell. We are going to look at week 6, delve into week 7. We are coming to the end of the 2026 season. Week 7 coming up. We got a lot to unpack here. Week 6 was unbelievable. In fact, week 6 I labeled, as you're going to see at the halftime, the greatest day of Upward sports basketball at the New Holland PA location. Absolutely was unbelievable week 6. So let's just jump right into it. All right, guys. So we're going to play the Wednesday weekly wrap up. And let's start that file here. Get that going. And we're just going to look at these games. Guys, week 6 was unbelievable. So we start off with the Timberwolves looking like they were going to cruise to their second win of the season, and that did not happen. Coach Slaughter, Jude Lapp has not lost a game this year when he's been on the court. Absolutely, they go to 3-2 after this game. What an unbelievable game. Timberwolves, in typical fashion, what did they do? They get out early. They've done this against the Sixers. They've done it several other times. The Timberwolves, let's just, while this is playing, I'm going to be looking at their season here. I mean, because really, this should not be a 1-5 team. Absolutely not when you have the big three. So, we go to week 1 with the Timberwolves. And they play the Bulls. Okay, so they come out with a win. They smoke the Bulls 41-29. And Jackson Hackenberg, player of the game in that one. Who would have ever thunk that would be their only win of the season? I can't believe it. So week 2, they play the Trailblazers. They get trashed, 38-14. Week 3, they play the Jazz. Pretty good game. They lost 36-28 there. Okay, it's the Jazz. Now remember, Jackson Hackenberg and his brother, and I think it was one other, Micah Reed, I believe, was out for those 2 weeks. So Jackson ended up, now those were makeup games. So those were the Valentine's Day makeup games. Jackson for week 2 and 3 was gone, didn't miss a beat. But those were the Valentine's Day games, and they just had a miserable Valentine's Day. And they played 2 very, very tough teams. Now, in the real week 4, they lose to the Celtics, 32-31. TJ Fox, Jada Pizarro, players of the game there. Then, week 5, they take on Chase Gwaltney. Get out early into that game, and then all of a sudden they let the Sixers climb ahead. But then they made it respectable. Sixers got pretty far ahead from what I remember. And then they ended up losing that game 38-33. Gabe Prestigiacomo, Chase, and Nicholas Roberts, all players of the game there. And last week, this game here that we're looking at, 35-28 final, goes to overtime. I mean, my heart goes out to Coach Good. What do you do with the Timberwolves? What do you do? Let me get rid of my little message there so you guys can see the score. All right, so we look at this game. They're up 14-9. Now, let's look ahead to week 7 as you guys watch these highlights. And this was an amazing game. Absolutely amazing game. So I'm going to go ahead and so they're taking on the Heat. The Heat coming in at 3-3. And that's going to be a really good game. I think the Heat took their first loss with Bryant Zook out, with Bryant Zook present. They lost to the Trailblazers in a nail-biter, 42-40. That was week 5. All right, everybody knows I'm the one that drafted the Heat team. So let's go through the Heat team real quick. Week 1, they lost to the Jazz, 33-31. Dawson Fisher and David Noel, players of the game. No Bryant Zook in that game. So that was week 1, lost by 2. Week 2, they trashed the Celtics, 58-22. Jake Harding, and that was a retreat week. Week 3, They played Chase Gwaltney and the Sixers. Chase was not there in that game. They did beat the Sixers 33-24 without Gwaltney. Week 4, they lost. Another one, 3-point loss to Jude Lapp. And again, Bryant Zook was out for that game as he was in Week 1. Now they finally lost in Week 5 with Bryant Zook present, a 2-point loss. So if we look at their losses, Week 1 they lost by 2. Week 4 they lost by 3. Week 5 they lost by 2. This team the Heat have not lost by more than 3 points in any game in this season. You cannot write the Heat off on Championship Saturday. If you do that, you're very foolish. Last week, they trashed the Bulls. No big deal there. Look, I got the regular season MVP is going to be decided tomorrow. Tomorrow, Saturday, February 28th. It's not going to be announced till Championship Saturday. And I can tell you right now, it's pretty much locked down to 2 people, Dawson Fisher and Jake Harding. If Jake Harding plays like he did last week against the Bulls, now I know it was the Bulls, but if he plays like that, and he does that to Mike Good and the Timberwolves, unless Dawson Fisher, if Dawson Fisher matches Jake, I got him slightly ahead of Jake. If Dawson Fisher and Jake are equal in my eyes, Dawson's probably going to win it. But who knows? We'll look at the Jazz in a second. So let's get back to our game here that you guys are watching. So we got 3 minutes in the fourth quarter. All right, now back to this game. I have received so many complaints about the officiating in this game. Not just this game. The officials all day long, Fidel and Carl, were getting killed. Now, this is the highlights, and in this highlights, you don't see a play at the end of the game where one of the Timberwolves just gets absolutely murdered. I think it was Landon Hackenberg at the buzzer was just destroyed after the shot, and that was a 3-pointer. Nothing called on the play. And there were some questionable other ones. Look, I'm not going to get into a referee bashing. Everybody's got to deal with it, and everybody is complaining. So it's Fidel, it's Carl. They are who they are, and right now everybody has to deal with it. Everybody is really complaining. I mean, I'm really shocked, at week 6 for the refereeing. I mean, I love those guys personally, but it just sometimes the refs can have a bad game too. This is 8 o'clock in the morning. You got to remember that Fidel does the same thing I do, 7 games, and then he works a full-time job after that. So, you got to give these guys a break. Did they make a lot of bad calls and no calls? Yes. I'm not going to say they didn't, especially at the end of that game, Landon being fouled after the shot. But, all right, here we go. 1 second left.
We're going overtime.
26-26. So we go to OT. And, I really thought the Timberwolves were going to win this game. But any team with Jude Lapp on it, you just cannot count out. You cannot count out. And unfortunately for the Timberwolves here, they're going to fall in this game. And Jude Lapp was just spectacular as usual. But Chase Musser got a player of the game here, and we don't count him out either. Here's Jude at the line, and he's just clutch. He's clutch. He's key. If you guys remember back against the Celtics, what Jude did, with the Elijah Gavilando heroic game-winning shot at the buzzer, that was Jude who gave him that half-court pass from half-court right under. And credit the Thunder. Credit the Thunder. Thunder are a very interesting team. They're very quiet. They're very sneaky. Sneaky quiet. Now, they do have a makeup game tomorrow. And so at 3 o'clock, they're going to play the Bulls, which is really going to be... There's Jude right there putting a knife in the coffin. Well, that only put them up 2. Lane Wenger, huge, huge free throw here. 30 seconds left. And, give all, and another guy, Josh Byler, you cannot disregard the chemistry here. These guys have a bond. They are a team. That chemistry, so important. Absolutely important, and they have it. Jude, Byler, even Blaine Bauer, like you see these guys, they're all on the same page, and wow, does that matter? It really does matter. So let's watch the end of this game here. 13 seconds left. Really, really fun day. Hey, look, when Championship Saturday rolls around, everyone, don't count this team out. I know everybody has. I know everybody has written the Thunder off as no way are they going to win this game. I wouldn't do that. I would not do that. They got chemistry. They got Jude Lapp and Josh Byler, a great supporting cast. Coach Slaughter's doing a fantastic job with them. Okay, let's move on to the game of the century. I have it in the top 10 best games ever, and I will never, ever forget this game. So many things went down in this game. There was so much tension. There was so much hype. A lot of trash talking. Here you got arguably the two best teams in the league. And this, most likely is Chase Gwaltney's last season, unless Darin opens the league up to 10th grade like he did for the girls, which hasn't been ruled out yet. So we don't know. We don't know. Is this going to be Chase's last season? We have to look at it that way. Here's Deshaun Stoltzfus, beautiful three. The thing is with the Sixers, they get a lot of help from other people, from their B-line guys, if you want to call them that. But their supporting cast comes through with these three-pointers that are absolutely clutch and monstrous at the right time. I mean, in this game, Sixers get ahead 13-0 right away. Right away they get up, and it just looks like they're going to pound the Jazz into the sand. But I've learned from watching the Jazz, especially the game against the Celtics, you absolutely never, ever count this team out. When they have David Noel, Dawson Fisher on that team, you can't count them out. And in fact, even though the Sixers were up by 14 at the half, Jazz actually take the lead in that game with 48 seconds to go, which I could not believe they lost the game, because not once, but twice after the Jazz take the lead with 48 seconds to go. First, you had a technical foul, which Dawson goes to the line up to, shooting to. I think it was like 30 seconds left. And then not only that, but David Noel goes to the line with 15 seconds left, up to. How many times with those two things happening is a team going to lose a game of that caliber? But they did. Credit the 76ers. They got what they needed at the right times. They got a lot of breaks. Noah Verkler was sensational. His best game of the season. Gave him a player of the game. And Deshaun Stoltzfus, phenomenal role player, did his job and then some. And this was just a spectacular game. So let's fast forward a little bit here. Oh, too far. Sorry about that, guys. So there's 24-10 at the half. All right, so now we come down to the end of this game. 27-18. Sixers are winning. This is third quarter action. And the Jazz climb right back into this. So guys, on Championship Saturday, if you get ahead of the Jazz, do not count them out. I mean, absolutely do not count this team out by no stretch of the imagination. I don't care, you're up 14. I mean, the Sixers were spotted a 13-0 lead in this game, and the Jazz took the lead. So up 14 at the half, like I said, can't count them out. Now, give the Sixers all the credit in the world. Chase Gwaltney playing sick. He was ill that whole week, and he was just Chase Gwaltney. He was sensational. He's one of these guys, you put a cape on him, he can fly. All right, so we come down, minute 21 left to go in this game. The Sixers, are very well coached, which is very obvious. You can see that. And they have a very, very strong supporting cast. I put Deshaun Stoltzfus in that supporting cast. You have Chase Gwaltney, Nicholas Roberts as your two big guys, And then you get help. You're getting help from Nicholas Long right there. When they get these unexpected shots like this for three, it's just incredible. And then Gabe Prestigiacomo, he chips in when he needs to. Everybody on the Sixers come to play. They come to play, and they're well coached. And should the Jazz have won this game? Yes. Absolutely, the Jazz had this game in the pocket, and it was taken from out, just stolen right out of their house, if you want to look at it that way. Just an incredible comeback. So here we are in the fourth quarter, 3:35 left to go in this game, 4-point game. Here's Prestigiacomo. Can you ask for anything better than one of your supporting cast guys? A huge three. Magnificent. So now they're up 7, the Sixers, but that fast, the Jazz will answer right back. You can't sit against this team. And their coach, look at him on his feet. He is so fired up, Chris Michelson. He pretty much coached this team last year to the championship. Here's David Noel. Beautiful shot here. For me, David Noel misses a layup in overtime, which is so uncharacteristical of him. And I know he wishes he had that layup back that he misses. And, you can't say enough good things. There's the lead right there, 36-35 with 48 seconds left. So after the technical foul, 22 seconds left. And not only is Dawson going to shoot 2, David Noel's going to shoot 2, up 2. How they lost this game is just mind-boggling. It really is. So here's Noel with 15 seconds left. Up 2, shooting 2. So there was a lane violation. I don't know if you guys heard that right there. Lane violation took away that shot. So now there's 3 seconds left, down 2. Verkor at the line. I know I cut it out right here on the highlights. So Verkor missed. Noah Roberts grabs it. I mean, that ball could have bounced anywhere with 3 seconds left. But it went right to Nicholas Roberts, and he got fouled, which was a questionable call. But you can respect it because Dawson took a big whack at Roberts. Credit Nicholas Roberts. 2 magnificent pressure free throws. If he misses one of those, the game's over. He hits them. We're going to overtime. So here you're going to see David Noel misses a wide open layup, which is, I don't know. He was on the right side of the basket, but these things happen, I think this is it right here. Right here. If he puts that in, it goes up 2. I think that changes everything. So we're still tied, minute 40. Verkor at the line. Now, he missed his previous 2, and now he hits that one. So huge game for Noah Verkor. And this was just one of the greatest games in Upward history. Right here, Chase wide open, calling for the ball, not one person on him. And that's what happens. When you leave a guy like Chase Gwaltney open, you are going to pay the price. And then here, breakdown, Roberts wide open. And both Dawson and David were over there as well. What's amazing here, Sixers are up 5, 22 seconds. Beautiful 3 there by Dawson to keep his team in it. And then Chase, to me, this is hilarious. This is hilarious. And I think Chase will never do this again for the rest of his life. I know he thought the game was over. Just pass it, get it, throw it up into the air. Chase, just shoot a 3. If you're going to do that and throw it up and hit the ceiling, just shoot a 3. Now you gave the team a chance to win this game, which they almost did by inches. So they put a second back on the clock, and I'm serious. I don't think Chase Gwaltney, because of this game, will ever throw the ball up like that again. Just shoot it. a three, and the game's over. Just throw it behind the basket. Didn't matter. The game would be over. But no, you hit the ceiling, and Dawson puts it right on line. I heard it hit the rim. I'm so, upset that I saw it with my eyes, but I didn't see it with the camera because you have to look through a screen to actually see what's on the screen. And it was right on target, right on target. So congratulations to the Sixers. Guys, you could be looking at the championship Saturday final right there. Very, very possible. Not sure how that's going to line up. I guess depends on what comes. Okay. So Celtics Trailblazers. The Celtics, this is a very interesting team. All right, so they get trashed in this game. And I really, I understand the week before was Valentine's Day makeup, and they blew a 20-9 lead. Doherty says they were up as much as 14. I don't remember 14. It looked like Adrian Weaver was going to have a nice day there, but it got ugly, and it got ugly quick. Look, the Trailblazers, guys, everybody's complaining about Carter McDowell going on that team for free. They're beatable. They're beatable. So let's go ahead and look at the roster. While you guys watch that, I'm going to look at their rosters here. And I don't think they're unbeatable like everyone is saying. A lot of people are saying that their team is not going to lose. All right, so you beat the Sixers by 1 point in game 1, week 1. 1 point victory. You trashed the Timberwolves in week 2. I think that might have been counting as the makeup game. Without Jude Lapp there, they won 50-14. They played the Jazz, and they lost. But I think Grant wasn't there in that game. Either was Sean Stoltzfus. 42-38 without those two guys there. So think about that. That Carter McDowell, I believe, hit a 3 at the end of that game. So it really was 42-35. Okay, but that really doesn't count without Grant there. And then they go on a winning streak here. You beat the Heat by 2 points. And week 6, you trashed the Celtics, which we're watching here. So, look, I mean, we don't know enough about this team because there's been so many players out. But what are the facts? The facts are you beat the Sixers by 1, and you beat the Heat by 2. If this was an invincible team, you're not winning those games by 1 and 2. So, they're a good team, but they are beatable. All right, now we look at the Celtics, and this is one of those teams, their season has been a roller coaster ride. So we take a look at the Celtics. Week 1, they lose by 1 point to Jude Lapp, and that is only because Jude, with the heroic play to Gavilando at the 1 second left on the clock, they had 4 seconds to go the length of the court, and Jude puts on his Superman cape, throws it to Gavilando from half court under the basket with 1 second left. So they win by 1 point against the Celtics. That was the Thunder. Then the Celtics lose. They get trashed by Jake Harding. I'm not sure if anybody was out in that game. No, that is the game where the team quit on their coach. They had a bad practice that Thursday, and the team was falling apart. So Coach Doherty rallies the troops, addresses all the issues. After that game in week 2, there was shirt throwing. And he does a great job. They come back, they beat the Bulls by 2. Week 4, they play the Timberwolves, and they beat them. They beat the Timberwolves by 1. TJ Fox. TJ Fox, guys, when TJ's playing at the top of his game, he is one of the best in the league. Hands down. He's right there with Dawson, David, Chase. He is right there when he's at the top of his games. Now, TJ is an emotional player, and he's not always at the top of his game. Now, they played the Jazz, and they lost 44-31. And to me, that did a lot of damage to, and I think that was it might have been a makeup game. Whether it was the makeup game or not, I think it was. They were up 20-9 against the Jazz. They handled the Jazz the whole first quarter. Dawson, I believe, was sick in that game, and David was nursing. Yeah, it was the makeup game. And they ended up losing by 13 after being up 20-9 at the half. And then, did that affect them? Because now they go and they get trashed in this game, 44-12. So they're going to be playing Chase Gwaltney and the Sixers for their final Week 7 game. And to me, that's, okay, so I see the game's over. No need to have all those highlights. So they play the Sixers, the Celtics, and that's going to be a big one for them because I really think they need to win that game to have enough momentum to win the whole thing. If they can outplay Chase Gwaltney and the Sixers, and TJ and the team plays like a team, then they have a chance. I think if you get trashed by Chase, I think they're done in Championship Saturday. Just my opinion. Okay. Bulls and Heat. Everybody knows the story with the Bulls. Just, no need to get into that team. They don't really have a center on that team. But the Heat we talked about. All right, so that's going to do it for the boys. Let's move on to the girls. So if you're in the boys 7-9, you could drop off right here. Unless you're Dan Gwaltney, who has a daughter in the 7-9 league. So let's move forward ahead. All right. And the Heat just played miraculous. Hey, look, Jake, we back up. Jake and Lincoln were fantastic in this game. But it's not hard to be fantastic against the Bulls. I want to see Jake, what he can do this week coming up. And he is going to be playing the Timberwolves. So he's going to deal with the big three. This will really give me a good clue where he is. Like I said, the Jazz are playing Jude Lapp. Jake is playing the Timberwolves three. So it's really going to be close for the regular season MVP. Okay, so let's move on to the girls. If you're in the boys 7-9, thanks for hanging around. And we're going to move on. All right, now we got the Sparks and the Storm. Let's back up and get the little, I call it a loop video. There we go. Okay, so the Storm coming in at 2-4. Cheryl Russell Sparks at 3-2. Sparks, let's look at both teams here. Okay, so the Sparks started off and they lost to the Murphy sisters. There's 3 teams in this league. They lost 15-8. Reese Murphy, player of the game in Week 1. And no Avery Good in that game. So Sparks were without Avery Murphy. Week 1 loss. Week 2 got canceled because of snow. That's when we ended the games early. I don't know if you guys remember that day. Week 3, they play the same team again as they did in Week 1. Avery Good's there. And they won 25-12. So, right there, they go to 1-1. Then they play Lexi Gwaltney for the first time the following week, Week 4, and they lose 17-9. Lexi and JL, players of the game. They were up. I believe it was 9-8 in the third quarter, and they lost that game 17-9. So they fell apart. Week 4, they play the Murphy sisters again. They win by 3. And then last week, they're 1 game behind because of that missed game. And last week, they win by 7 against the Sky. So they're going to have the Murphy sisters, or they're actually going to be playing the Sky again this week. And that's going to be their last game of the regular season at 12:30. It's going to be a huge one. Now, there's going to be no JL Glick again. So in that last game, there was no JL in the 28-21 victory. No JL, but Avery Good did leave in the third quarter as well. And then, I'm sorry, that was Week 5, and they did have another game after that, which you guys are going to see coming up against the Sky. just one of the greatest finishes ever. So let's take a look at the Storm. Let me see where we're at on the video. What are we looking at? Storm Sparks. We're still looking at those highlights. Okay. All right, Philip Lap Storm. I mean, this team starts off 2-0. They beat Lexi Gwaltney by 1 point with Michaela Tech's in week 1. Michaela Tech buzzer-winning shot. Gwaltney, they were up. Gwaltney's team was ahead a lot in that game and then blew. I think it was 17-9 lead or 17-8, something like that, 17-10. But they pulled it off. And then they beat the Sparks the next week without Avery Good, so they go up 2-0. And then they just lost their next 5 in a row. They lost 25-12 to my wife's team, Avery Good. Then after that, they lose 32-20 to Lexi's team. Then they lose to my wife's team by 3. Adelie Garman, player of the game in that one. And they lose 13-5 to Lexi the next week after that. So 5 straight losses. But look, when it comes to Championship Saturday, anything goes. Anything goes. This is one game. We've seen how good they can play. The Murphy sisters, I believe Lily Asensio and her sister Natalia, I think Natalia quit last week. She's done, so they have Lily. Lily's starting to get back into form a little bit. I wouldn't write them off. They're going to be heavy underdogs, no doubt about it, to Lexi's team. But definitely would not write them off assuming they play Lexi. We don't know that. If Lexi wins tomorrow against my wife's team, then they would have to play the Sparks. So against either team, you're not going to write the Murphy sisters off by no stretch of the imagination. You'd be very foolish to do that. So we can see here at the end of this game, the team is just in shambles. There's no identity. The Murphy sisters have secluded themselves on an island, separating them from the rest of the team. They pass to each other, and I can't blame them. A lot of the girls are not trying their hardest. But last week, this was the best I've seen them play in a while. So Michaela Tech had a great game. And if they would have won, I would have given her a player of the game, definitely. Michaela was probably her best game of the season. And they put up a great fight here. Look how many points they scored here. And there's 2 more. Oh, he didn't count that. But, hey, they scored, after scoring 5 points against Lexi's team, now they scored 22 against the Sparks, and the game's not even over here. All right, so then we have to look at the Sky. Well, let's jump to the girls' 56, because the ending in this game was phenomenal. So here's the story. Let me get you the little thumbnail. All right, my wife is 4-0 going into this game. Poor Joseph Martel. Joseph, my heart bleeds for you. And none of these games have even been close. So let's look real quick at the season. First game, 14-7, 16-8, 14-5, 19-6. So none of these games have even been close. Well, guess what happens? Joseph Martel and his Tigers play their best game of the season. Emery Gardner is almost a definite to win the regular season MVP, and she's on the Lady Tigers. She has been sensational all season. She, to me, is far and above better than everyone. It was going to be her or Layla Pacheco, and she's got Layla beat. Layla has a much better team around her, and Emery Gardner, not enough great things to say how she improved. So you come to this game, you play your best. Look at this lead they got. They're up 4-1. It even gets up more here. So 6-1. It looks like they're finally gonna win, doesn't it? You get excited, but you guys hear me say on the video, never count a team out until that very last second. And believe it or not, that last second is going to come into play. And my heart goes out to Joseph Martel. His daughter Alice played phenomenal, her best game of the season. Maddie Maddox had her best game of the season. Garner was great. Mara Miller's always great. No Josie Cordova. Josie wasn't there for this game. And it just, look at this, 8-1. It looks hopeless. It looks like the Cardinals are going to lose this game. And my wife, she wasn't even screaming or yelling. You know, she tells me that there's a lot of goofing off going on in practice, not taking the game seriously, and it was upsetting my wife. And she wasn't out there screaming and yelling like normal. And this, you know, but believe it or not, they win this game. The Cardinals still win this game in dramatic fashion, which really shows me a lot. Now, what's interesting, so now it's 8-5. What's interesting is there will be no Layla Bajeko on Championship Saturday. So Joseph Martell, you got your best chance to beat them on Championship Saturday. And I really hope he does. Now, my wife is trying to go back-to-back perfect seasons in that league. And the only person to do that is John Hoffman, of course. No other coach has gone back-to-back perfect seasons in any league. And in fact, in the boys 7-9, there's been no perfect seasons at all. So it's all been in the 56 league for the boys and the girls. Well, the girls 79, of course, but no boys 79. So here we go. Look at this, 10-5. Tigers are playing great. Life is wonderful. Emery Garner. You know, you can't, this just looks over, doesn't it? And as you're going to see, with like, I don't know, they scored 2 baskets in 5 seconds, and it's just mind-blowing. Here's Layla at the line. And Layla's having a phenomenal season. I don't want to take anything away from her. She is sensational. Great player. You know, her and Emery are the only 2 candidates for the regular season MVP. So now 12-5, right? Looks like the Lady Tiger. You know how hard it is to score points, you know, in the girls 56. You just don't see points scored quickly. And for them to get 2 baskets at the end of this game is absolutely mind-blowing to steal this. Leah, you know, the Cardinals just, they got that chemistry thing. They have an identity. They have their leader, Layla. They got their role players. They got their supporting cast. They're on the same page, 12-7 at the half. You know, they're all on the same page here. And that matters a lot. It really, really matters a lot. So now we're going to see the comeback. I'll crank it up just a little bit. I mean, it's just a phenomenal, phenomenal ending.
Missed it. Serenity there for the putback. Serenity Fox. Martell.
You know,
stolen by
for a girls 56.
Off the glass.
14-9.
Layla the rebound. Layla off the glass miss. Got her own rebound, and the putback is good. There's Garner.
There goes Emery. Boy, she
Emery,
is just
the
amazing.
Tigers would love a bucket right here. No good. And here comes Leah. Leah.
14-11.
Gets it to Lacey. Lacey. With Martell in her face, but she
There's
puts
Lacey,
it in.
Claire's younger
Miller
sister.
just missed at the buzzer. So after 3 quarters of play, Lady Tigers holding on to a 1-point lead here.
So all of a sudden, that 7-point lead goes down to 1. But the Tigers aren't done scoring. Maddie Maddox had her greatest game of the season.
Maddie, Serenity right there. Swangren and Janelle.
Janelle Swangren had a great game. I mean, all the Lady Tigers.
Serenity, a much-needed basket. Lacey, and there it is. Still a 3-point game. Lacey to inbounds, got McAdams, but what a play, Savannah Weaver.
Savannah Weaver played great. Cora Musser played great. I mean, all of the Lady Tigers stepped up in this one.
Are having their best games of the season right here.
And here it comes. Down 3.
The Cardinals desperately need a basket. Layla off the glass. And The Cardinals desperately need a basket. Layla off the glass.
Now watch this.
Jaco. Savannah to inbound. Stolen Lacey, and she takes the lead. Are you kidding me? Congratulations, Cheryl Russell.
Unbelievable finish. Joseph Martell, my heart goes out to you. 19-18 your final. Cardinals stay undefeated. All right, now last game of the day. Sky Sparks. Hey, guys, if you haven't seen any of their games, it is the most enjoyable, phenomenal basketball, chess, everything. I just love watching these two teams play more than any two teams in all the leagues. These two are my favorite, hands down. Yes, my daughter and my wife, but the basketball is so sensational. You got 6th grade phenom Lexi, Ella Becker. What a team they have. And the Sparks have a great team as well. They have Avery Good, Claire Yoder, my daughter Catherine. Just, you know, Carly Harness is having a sensational season. I believe number 24, I think she loses a tooth in this game, by the way. I was told it was a baby tooth that came out, but man, she took a Ella Becker elbow as Ella was dribbling. Elbow hit her right in the tooth. I don't think I show it here on the highlights. Allison Doherty, very nice shot. Having a very good season, Allison. I mean, this is just a, all around two solid teams. Both have, both teams. There's Avery Good doing her thing. So yeah, Darin Parry helping out Fidel.
Reed got it to Zoe. Good job, Zoe.
Look at Zoe go.
Might be turned over, and it is. Lexi, long outlet, has Becker. Becker puts the brakes on. Off the glass it in, Ella Becker.
Boy, Ella was sensational in this game.
Player steps up. Lexi missed.
So what you guys are going to see is the game looks over. Looks like the Sparks are going to win. The Sparks go up 3 with 2 seconds left. And Ella Becker is going to get fouled, shooting 3 to tie it with no time left on the clock. I think it's 0.1. So she goes to the line to shoot 3 free throws and has to hit all 3. Wait till you see the ending.
Cammy Martindale strikes.
And let me tell you about Cammy. She is defensively having a phenomenal season. She is an integral part of this team. She is a force under there. She has so many great block shots.
Off the glass and in. Completely.
Now, I thought that they gave Lexi 3 there. They only gave her 2. We zoomed in, and it sure looked like a 3.
Stolen.
Now, as far as the regular season MVP goes, it's coming down to Avery Murphy. Avery Good missed a game. And you know my rules. You miss a game, that's just going to kill you unless everybody above you is playing that bad, and they're not. So it's going to be Avery Good or Lexi. It's going to come down to tomorrow. To me, they're just about dead equal. They are dead equal. They're both so valuable to their team. So whoever plays the best tomorrow, pretty much.
That ball is going to go to the Sparks. They won't complain.
Tight game. Sparks up. I think the Sparks get ahead, or the Sky is ahead. And I think they go up here by a little bit.
Hang on, now she did. And around and in. See.
Now, Claire Yoder, just not enough great things to say about Claire. Just sensational 7th grader.
Butter.
And Avery Good, just a phenomenal player. She's not even a basketball player. She's a soccer player. Man, she should develop her basketball skills. She has the makings just to be super. I mean, she is super.
But Lexi stole it.
And Lexi Gwaltney, 6th grade. I'm just sitting here thinking, what if she was in 10th grade? Oh, my goodness gracious.
Good job, Carly. Catherine DeClaire, turn around, quick shot, missed it. Got her own rebound, and the putback is good.
Claire killed them with the putbacks. No boxing out in this league.
And Claire, the putback. Claire Yoder doing down.
Claire just ate them alive.
Rebound missed again. Harnish misses the putback. And boy, this guy just caught some breaks. Zoe Martin. Quick passing. And
Sparks up 3 here.
Claire strikes. And let's see if we get a Reagan Reed update.
I mean, guys, this is going to come down to championship Saturday. So if the Sparks win tomorrow, they have a bye to the championship. If the Sky beat the Sparks and they beat the Storm, then it's going to come down to a matter of points. And I think the Sky are ahead, I believe. I'm not sure. I know it's close. Or no, actually, I think my wife calculated. I think they got to score 22 more points. Now, they play 2 games to the Sparks 1. But I think they have to win by 22 or more.
Another Claire Yoder left side basket. No
All right,
good.
so here we go. 18-11. Looks hopeless, right? Looks hopeless for the Sky. No way. No way. You don't count them out ever.
Look at Zoe Martin. Boy, Becker just hit the ground hard, turned over. Claire Yoder. Wide open layup.
Here's another thing. Lexi misses 4 free throws, and she is an excellent free throw shooter.
Misses the second. Reagan Reed the rebound.
She hit that one, but I think at the end of this game she misses 4.
Made him pay.
Pretty sure it's 4. And
Good shot, Claire Yoder.
Claire at the end of the game goes to the line. I mean, it looked over with 2 seconds left. Wait till you see the finish.
And a jump with Lexi and Claire.
So here goes Lexi. I think she misses both of these.
Lexi misses the first.
The Sparks were very, very fortunate. And my daughter makes these 2 plays. One was a horrible call. Fidel thought that my daughter got pushed. My daughter even told him there was no foul. She did not get pushed. Still gave her the ball. Still gave her the ball. So Becker, a huge shot.
Lexi, right side. Catherine all over her, and that counts.
I mean, look at that. That is MVP stuff right there. The clutch. So clutch. Lexi is just clutch. So is Chase.
Catherine Russell almost stole it.
Look, right there, she is telling Fidel, I did not get pushed. It was out on me. And he still gives her the ball. He looks over at the camera, still gave her the ball. And that's what makes me mad. You know, that shouldn't go on. The Storm deserve the ball.
Sparks in gold. Now it's a 2-point game. They rolled it.
And credit the Sky for climbing back in this. Now, Avery Good left she left the game in the 3rd quarter. Ella gets fouled shooting a 3. She's got to hit all 3 here.
Ella hits the first. Ella Becker makes the second.
One-point game.
Misses the third, and it's over.
Unbelievable finish. So there you go, guys. All right, so let's take a look at the final standings. Week 7, guys. We got 2 weeks left of the 2026 season. This has just been, that was just the greatest day at Upward last week. I have to cherish it here. So let's pause it here. All right, so your Trailblazers and Jazz tied at the top of the leaderboard. Of course, Trailblazers only lost. No Grant Stoltzfus, no Sean Stoltzfus. The Jazz have had David and Dawson there every single game. Sixers, 2 losses. I believe Chase was gone for one of those, and then week 1 to the Trailblazers. Barely, I think 1 point, we said. Those Thunder right in the middle of the pack, guys, 3-2, and they're going to have 2 games tomorrow, one against the Bulls. So I don't know how this is going to play out. So if the Thunder beat the Heat and then the Bulls, are they playing the Heat? Let me double check here, get my story straight. No, the Thunder are playing the Jazz. So they're playing Michelson and the Jazz, the Thunder. So they got to play a very hard game, and then they get to play an easy game against the Bulls. Heat got to play Timberwolves. Timberwolves sitting with 1 win. I don't know. I don't know if Mike Good can salvage that team. They got the talent. They got the players. I don't know what's wrong. Nobody knows what's wrong, why they're not winning. And they've lost some close ones. You can't count the Timberwolves out on Championship Saturday. If you do that, and it's a foolish move to just sit back and think that they're like the Bulls, like an automatic win. They are not. I know they have 1 win. I wouldn't count them out at all. Celtics, interesting team. I mean, this comes down to emotions. It comes down to coaching. It comes down to chemistry. It comes down to the desire. So I don't know. The Celtics sitting at 2-4. Like I said, they're playing Chase Gwaltney. To me, they need to win that game. If you want to win the championship, you got to beat Chase Gwaltney tomorrow. You have to. Then you give your team a monster uplift. If you get smoked, I think you're toast on Championship Saturday. Guys are going to give up on you. The Heat, listen, we talked about the Heat with all these not losing a game by more than 3 points. Can't count them out. Absolutely. So this is going to be one of the greatest Championship Saturdays. Now, I was told that we are going to have that big center court, which is going to be great, not like last year. All right. Let's look at the standings. I don't want to lose my voice for tomorrow. Got to be careful yelling too loud. So the Lady Tigers, that's going to come down to Championship Saturday without Layla. And then the girls 7-9. Let's back that up before we look at the matchups. All right, so the Sparks, so that's what it comes down to. So Sky have 2 games. They need to win both and score a lot of points to secure a bye right to the championship. I don't think it matters. I don't know. Would you rather play 1 game than the championship, or would you rather go ice cold and not have any games except that final game? I don't know. I really don't know. I think either way you're okay. All right, let's take a look at the matchups here coming up for this Saturday, tomorrow, in less than 12 hours. It is 8:30 p.m. right now, Friday night, February 27th. So here you go, Chick Coles and the Celtics. Nice. Heat and Timberwolves to kick it off. Then you're going to have Lonnie. Well, I feel bad for the Bulls if Lonnie goes all out. I don't know. I don't know if I would. And there's going to be a great game. Jude Law, I cannot wait to see that game tomorrow. 11 a.m., guys. Don't want to miss that one. That's going to be a big one. And it's definitely going to impact the regular season MVP. Then we come to the Girls League. So 12:30, Sparks and Sky. It's going to be an amazing, amazing game. Phenomenal game. No JL Glick. She's still in Hawaii. This game, I would just wait to Championship Saturday, Joseph. No Layla. That is going to be your best chance to beat the Cardinals. And what a sweet victory to win the championship. You got a great chance of doing that. And the final game of the regular season right here. Lexi is going to take on the Murphy sisters to end the regular season. It is going to be phenomenal. Can't wait for tomorrow. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for watching this Friday night podcast here. And this has just been an amazing season. And yeah. Oh, I want you to see that picture. So this is right. This was a funny one. Where is it? Did it go? Anyway, I don't know. Okay, guys, thank you for watching Stream with Purpose podcast. And let's look forward to week 7 tomorrow.